of talk us through what your mindset is towards specifically Toastmaster competition? Because you've won like 4 or 5 district titles, Susanna.
4 now. Yep.
You've won 4 yourself. So it'd be good to hear, what is the mindset that you use which helps you have so much success?
Oh, good question. Loaded question. There's different answers. So let's go very quickly through everyone, because I've competed in all 4 categories in these, and I've competed in district level for all 4. Table topics, my main thing is in my brain, be different. Just be different. No matter what you do, just be different. So this is why I'm a very rare individual when I say don't go always with your first topic in mind. So when you do here, oh, did I freeze?
You have briefly, but don't worry about it. I think just keep on.
No worries. Let's fix that. All right. What just happened? All right. That's my backup camera. No. Hey, let's go with that. It's
backup. Well, let's see, that is
well, that's just on my laptop, but that's a unfortunate coincidence. But let's fix that. Hey, see, shit happens. You can't worry about it. All right, if it comes back, it comes back. But let's go with this one for now. Sorry about that. The quality is not as good, but we're good. All right, yeah. So for table topics, I'm a rare breed because I don't actually always go with the first topic in mind. And I quite often tell people always to think about if you do want to go with your first topic, because sometimes your first topic is the same topic that comes to everyone else as well. And this is why it's not always the best, because if everybody speaks about the same topic, how are you going to be better than everybody else? So so that's kind of you're not making yourself any difference. So so while I'm in that room that can be quite intimidating, where everybody's prepping and everybody's doing it, I'm not really thinking about it. I might warm up my voice in that room, but the main thing I'm keep repeating to myself is be different, be different, be different, be different. When it comes to evaluation, is I always write down in my notes my first words. And that's something that I would tell everyone. So I choose my first words, how I start my evaluation, before I even think about what I'm going to evaluate about. So that's something, and preparing mindset-wise to evaluation, I don't. Because I'm just going authentically with what I think would be great off. So you can't, I mean, I'm a horrible person and a horrible Toastmaster saying this, but you can practice for evaluation other than just practicing evaluations in your Toastmaster meetings, but you can't prepare for it. So so that's why I would be brutally honest with that. But then that comes to Humorous and International, and that's obviously the loaded ones, and that's obviously the biggest ones. Very similar project for both, and very similar aspect to both from my end. I always just keep telling myself, just be you. Just be you. It works for me. I'm extremely confident. Like you said, I'm extremely energetic. I know how to be very vulnerable. I know how to be me. You put all that time and effort into your speech. You practiced and you practiced and you practiced and you really prepped it. A lot of people even hire a coach doing that. And then you're not allowing yourself to be you on the game day. Like, that's just not going to work for me. So it's really, you put all the effort beforehand, and then you just trust the process and just be you and be authentically you on the stage. So so that's kind of the mindset in a very broad view, how I would go on each contest. Yeah.
Yeah. No, thank you for that. Thank you for that. And I agree, especially with the... I
mean, what, you won like seven district champions, or...
Oh, well, you're too kind. 5 for now, but 7 next. That's the plan anyway. But just to kind of go back to what you said about table topics there, I remember for my district contest earlier this year, and the table topic was, if not now, when? If not now, when? And my first thought that came to mind was singing. And weirdly, I never have sang in my life. I cannot sing for anything. You know, that would be a terrible idea to me to announce that I was about to become a singer. But thankfully, just as I put my foot on the stage and turned to face the audience, in that maybe 5 seconds, I came up with another idea, which was to open a fridge magnet museum. And fridge magnets are something I'm very passionate about. Maybe I can just show you briefly. I've actually got a fridge magnet collection over there. So I'm able to kind of talk about that and really bring that out more. But it goes back to that point you made. Don't always go with that first thought that comes to mind.
I don't think a lot of people would have had singing in their mind, though, but maybe that's the difference.
how would it work for you? You just say, so you get in the shower, yeah, with all your clothes on, of course.
Exactly. Hey, Kyle, that sparked a question. What's the hardest table topics you've had in a contest?
In the contest. Ooh. I had this one table topic in the division contest, which was, what is the greatest medical intervention of all time? What is the greatest medical intervention of all time? And I don't really have a lot of knowledge in medicine. Again, we can kind of go back to your point. My first thought that came to mind was one of those cardboard, like, sick buckets, like those sick cups that people throw up in airplanes. So that was the first thought. I didn't go with that. What I went with when I got onto the stage, and this is kind of funny, is I said the greatest medical intervention is the cure to the Black Plague. But here's the thing. There never was a cure to the Black Plague. It literally just ran out of people to kill. So I spent 2 minutes lying. I didn't know I was lying, but essentially selling this idea that the Black Plague cure was the best thing that ever happened. It's why we're all alive today. And it was all rubbish because none of it was true. But I won because I was confident.
Hey, confidence goes far, yeah.
It does.
100%. Oh, that's too funny.
But another thing I wanted to ask you regarding the sort of competition mindset is, I'm noticing there's quite a big push towards, and you see this from a lot of the champions, world champions of public speaking, and many other competitors. They say things like, "It's not about the winning; it's about the audience." What's your perspective on?
That's my takeaway. So I'm an extremely competitive person. And I've been playing sports ever since I was 4 years old. So my soccer background goes now with a couple of years of break in between, about 25 years. And I am the person who would flip the Monopoly table on a Christmas dinner. Like I am that person. So my competitiveness can be toxic, but I've actually learned a healthy competition through Toastmasters. So that's probably like the biggest out for me for Toastmaster contests. But I do disagree, and I know the other speakers disagree as well. They just don't say it out loud. They like to win. Everybody likes to win. When they say it's not about the win, it's about the impact. No, that's bullshit. That everybody likes to win. It's if you're competing, you have some sort of inner, I love the feeling of winning. Like otherwise, why are you competing? Like if there's then just have speeches or become a keynote speaker and do that pro bono and just, bring value to people. Now, it doesn't still mean that even us highly competitive people don't like to give out value. So it's more of when I re-emphasize what a lot of, like you said, world champions say, is it's not about the winning, but the winning is definitely a motivation. So the whole point of the speech, I don't start writing a speech with an empty paper in front of me thinking, how am I going to win? No, I'm going to think, what am I going to give out? What is my takeaway? What is my call to action? But then I write a speech, but then I sure as hell am thinking, what's going to make me win with this speech? So it's definitely about the winning, but it is the main key. The takeaway is to bring value, but a personal benefit is to win. So I'm sorry if I'm a horrible human being for some Toastmasters for saying that out loud, but it's true. And I judge everyone who says it's not about the winning. I don't care about winning. I don't care about winning is the most bullshit sentence you can say, because why are you competing if you don't care? Like it's not authentic. So yeah, that would be my takeaway.
I love how you brought that up, because it's funny. The people that do say it's not about the winning, it's about giving, often are the ones who are most upset when they don't win.
Exactly.
I know.
No, and I go to contests and I tell people when they're like, "Oh, are you ready?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win." And they're like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna win." I'm here to win. Like, I know I'm that good, and I'm confident enough to say I came to win. Now, that doesn't mean I always win, but I'm coming here to win. Like, that's my main purpose. So, yeah.
And that's why you often win, because you go in with that intention. And the reality
you gotta go with the ending.
the reality is the two are kind of connected, because the more you win, the more audiences you reach, and therefore the more value you can share. So you want to win, and it's not a bad thing. It shouldn't be seen as a bad thing at all.
No.
This is competitive speaking at the end of the day. And
Yep.
for me, I also have a sport background, ultra competitive. It doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Connect Four, or football or anything. I'm coming to win. But speaking's my thing. So it's not even just about the win for me. I am coming to dominate. Like I want it to be undeniable. A mentor of mine once said, Kyle, if you want to do well in contests, you have to be head and shoulders above the rest.
Yes.
Because ultimately, this is such a subjective game. Let's say, for instance, you were doing a speech about football, Susanna, and 3 of the judges, for whatever reason, didn't like football. Well, that's probably going to influence their vote for you. And therefore, you cannot be close. I see people complaining about, oh, I should have won, but you were too close to the others. If you want to make it a case where you should have won and you will win, you have to be so much further above everybody else in the contest.
100%.
So I think that's the truth. If you want to do well in your district contest, you have to go in with the intention of winning. Yes, you're here to give value. It's not just all about you, but that ego is also a good thing, which can drive you to work harder and ultimately have more success and reach more people.
100%. And I would love to add, because I know Toastmaster peoples are listening to this when it goes live, and when there is people who are listening and saying, oh, that's such an egoistic, cocky thing to say. Who are these 2 people? We're sports people. That's who we are. And if you think about it, it's not like, okay, yes, the Olympics can be the world championships. But if it goes to high level, your national championships in any sports, why wouldn't you go in to win? Like, that's the whole point. Like, and that's what's been implemented in my brain. Like, I'm not gonna go into a soccer game thinking, oh, I'm gonna run as fast, I'm gonna fight for that ball, I'm gonna get those scores just to make the audience happy. No, that's that's not what I'm doing. I'm there to win, and I'm putting all that time and effort and work and blood and tears and frustration and writing and rewriting and evaluation and further evaluation. I'm putting all of that time so that I can be the best that I can be. And that's why they're contests. So I would say, for everybody who is bothered by the way how we talk about winning and all of that, that's a self-reflection point of view. Why does that bother me? Why does someone talking about wanting to win bother me? Is that because you don't have enough competition in your life? Is that because there is some sort of need for more, or anything in that case? Because it's just truly a different perspective for it. And that's just what I want to point out, because I get a lot of people telling me I'm cocky because I say I want to come and win, or I want to come and dominate. Yeah. And I tell them, no, that's not cockiness, that's confidence. It's a wrong C word. So this is what I want to really point out, because it truly is just a perspective.
That's it. Yeah, it's just the perspective. It's just the perspective. And you can enter the contest. I mean, people enter contests for different reasons. Some do it just to take part, and that's absolutely fine. But if you want to have success, you need to be thinking more along the lines we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. No, but it's also the people who join the contest just to try it, just to have fun, are normally the people who come then when they win club, they win area, and then they reach the division and they're like, I need help. Someone help me. I want to win. I want to win. I want to win. So they kind of get into the winning feeling, and it's a beautiful feeling to get into there when you can really get competitive with it. Because, as I said, it's a healthy competition. Toastmaster is such a healthy competition. So that's why it's something we should embrace more for the competitive point of view wise, rather than just think about, oh, value, 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 value.